Welcome to the Inside the Nest podcast. We're going to bring you up to date and talk all things Sacramento State football and basketball. My name is Chase. To the right of me is my brother Marquis.
What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for joining us for our first episode. Today we got for you Sac State and their aggressive push to the FBS. First off, we'd like to talk about what is the FBS. What's the difference between FCS and FBS? So FCS, FBS brings in more money for schools, more attention, more eyes. You're a schedule, those Oregons, those Texas A&Ms, Clemsons. You get just more eyes, more revenue into the school. That's why you see so many schools pushing for it.
Yeah, so what are some FBS schools on the West Coast that a lot of people would recognize?
USC, UCLA,
Yep.
Oregon State, Washington, Arizona,
so
San Jose State.
Well, so yeah, even the smaller schools, I think that maybe are a little bit more San Jose State, San Diego State. I don't have the population numbers off the top of my head, but those are probably pretty decent examples of schools that are at least at the same or similar level to
Sac State. Sac State's a pretty good sized CSU.
So for a move to get to from the Division I FCS to Division I FBS, is it about school facilities, team record, school population, or is it kind of a culmination of things?
It's a company. It's more of what I've seen recently. The teams moving up. Mm-hmm. It's your readiness to compete.
Okay.
If they're gonna move you up, you don't have to be the best. The teams that are winning national championships in the FCS aren't moving up.
Yeah. Okay.
Those aren't the teams moving up.
Okay.
So it's not like you have to be a proven champion. You just have to prove that you can compete. Facilities, you're recruiting, you got to have the athletes, be able to pull them in. And it's really, and revenue too. Do you have the money? FBS is coming so much up a money sport. You got to have that money behind your program. You just got to show you have that.
I mean, spoiler alert, Sac State was denied any move up to the FBS anyway. So what's the next moves for Sac State if they want to get into that? They want to get into those big dollar figures, those viewerships, all that.
I think Sac State they're at the point where they just have to prove on the field right now. They've had, it's not a historic program, so it's not like Sac State's been a winning program, always put money behind their football program. But recently that has changed a lot.
Recently, since December 1st?
Even before that.
Well, yeah, with the full
hiring Troy Taylor.
Yeah.
Him coming in, him bringing higher level athletes in here. I think it really showed. I think it showed Sac State that's the money right there. They got a little taste of it. Got on TV. Them ESPN. When ESPN come to your game, that bag hit different.
Nah.
So I think that helped a lot. So when they got a chance, when they seen the last coach couldn't keep it up. When they seen Marion was out there, they was like, oh yeah.
Do you think they made this, aggressive pursuit into the FBS because of the hiring of Marion, or was it maybe something that, they're making this push? Because I'll say this, too, they had plans Sac State's making a new $25K seated facility. They had plans for that, a couple of months before they even hired Marion.
Yeah. I don't think it's because of Marion. I think Marion is just another, piece of their plan, piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
I think that's why they went out and got him. They wanted a big name. They wanted someone who can take them to that next level.
They're definitely proven that by far. I mean, the other name, they had, wasn't there interest in, Mike Vick to be the head coach at one point, too?
Mike Vick. That's where you can see they were swinging. They were swinging for the fences.
They were swinging for sure.
So that's what I think their next step is. Just showing that they can compete,
Yeah. So, ideally, what are some benchmarks that I think this football team, because you're saying essentially nothing much we can do this year to get into the FBS. I mean,
I think after being denied, there's really nothing we can do right now. We can get the lawyers, we can appeal, but I just think if they denied it, I don't think there's really nothing we can do. That they had all the information. We've raised the money. We've done almost everything. I think we just have to go prove it. I think it's about we're doing this all now. I think there's one show me it's real. Show me it's real. It's not just I just want to get moved up. You're a flash in the pan. Show me it's real.
And I mean, not only the Division I committee or anyone who had to say in the waivers, denial and stuff like that, probably a lot of these conferences as well. Because I think one of the major reasons for the denial was the fact that we didn't have a conference invite, which I think Dr. Luke Wood has talked about this too. A little bit unfair considering there's 2 FBS conferences on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And 6, 7 over on the East and South?
No, and one of the recent teams to get moved up, Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Sam Houston, they're
Yeah.
I'm choosing Sac State. I'm choosing Sac State
100%.
in that game. But they just got moved up. There's so many conferences on the East Coast: Sun Belt Conference, USA, all these other ones, bro. We don't have that. We have the Mountain West and the Pac-12.
And let's be very honest about the current state of the Mountain West and the Pac-12. To be honest, are those conferences that
They shouldn't be talking like they're too highly right now.
that's kind of my feeling on things. I mean, part of it maybe because initially I remember hearing rumors of like Sac State's aggressiveness to wanting to get into the Pac-12 or the Mountain West.
Yeah.
Feels like when they kind of hired Marion and he started bringing in a lot of these recruits. Sorry, some of that interest in the Mountain West kind of like went down. It was solely focused on Pac-12 or honestly going independent into the FBS.
I think it was they were like, we will take both. We just want to get moved up. I think at 1st, and they really like saw it like all the good teams in the Mountain West just left.
Yeah, literally,
Just left. The Mountain West is having to go to Northern Illinois. I think was the last team to join.
Oh,
Yeah. So I think they're like, there's like that's.
yeah.
We're above that. The Pac-12,
Yeah.
the Pac-12 is not like we're joining the SEC.
I mean, the
Big
Pac-12 might damn near be the new Mountain West.
They got Colorado State in there.
Yeah.
We're chilling.
I would say I wouldn't put it necessarily past, especially if it's like, hey, we want to get to the FBS or bust. Maybe hitting out. I mean, it depends on, obviously, I don't know if they have contracts they have to sign that would have to keep them for X amount of years in that conference, but using it as kind of a platform to get into there might honestly be maybe a backdoor way to just get into the FBS. Have your 4 games a year that you can open schedule and
That might be also like a behind the scenes thing because the Mountain West, they did just like kind of get screwed on a couple of their contracts for these teams leaving to the Pac-12. So they might have been like trying to like, you gotta sell your soul to get in this FBS. Yeah. So that might have been another thing, just trying not to get attached to a dying conference for an extended period of time.
Yeah, no, I guess that's pretty fair on Sac State's point. And honestly, as you stated, it might be at the point where we're a little bit above whatever the Mountain West is because the talent that is being brought into Sac State right now is unlike anything I've ever seen from an FCS school. Because currently, even though we have SBS like agendas, we're an FCS school.
We are.
And until further notice, we're still going to be FCS. Yeah. So
the closest thing I've seen to impact like this has been Prime.
Yeah. At Colorado, at Jacksonville, I did do at Jacksonville.
And look what he did with those teams.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we just got to get to the season, see how we do. I think we opened the season with a good test, South Dakota State, and then Nevada. So we'll see how they're ready.
Behind the scenes, we have already made plans to try to get to that Nevada game because I'm excited. Because I think that's the one FBS school we have on our schedule. Don't think Nevada's,
and it's not a top.
Yeah, I don't think they're really something to be running from personally. Okay, I have a couple of stats on the on some of the recruiting that we've got going on. So in 2025, there's 29 high school or JUCO commits and 40 transfers. That sounds like a whole new roster. That's damn near a whole new roster. This is a team that went 3-9 last year, so that's kind of part of the conversation in what's holding up. Maybe some of this is,
but it's a whole new team,
whole new coaching staff. Well,
we talk about the recruits, the number. Those are the numbers. The quality of the recruits too.
Yeah. No, I mean let's get into that a little bit. Like Jaden Rashada, this is a dude who I think was like the first kid in high school to get like a sponsorship deal or an NIL deal or anything like that. This dude's a superstar that had to kind of bounce around. If you know the story, there's a lot of drama and a whole bunch of other complicated stuff that goes on behind that, which maybe influenced the reason why he's at Sac State now. But this dude was a superstar coming out of high school, and he's at Georgia last year, and he's now here at Sac State.
Yeah, really, it's just we have not heard no on-field problems. Like
no.
I think even this last year at Georgia, you heard nothing about him. He went there. I think he just worked.
Yeah, I don't even think there's. To me personally, how I viewed the Rashada whole storyline was, I mean, it sounds like there were some sketchy deals going on, some promises that were a little bit unkept, and when that was held accountable,
I don't. When I say problems, I'm not saying like he's the problem, but like the drama, off-field drama.
Yeah, and so, it's just, but it's a distraction.
Yeah, distraction. So he's had probably most of them don't sound like his fault.
No, I don't think this is really his fault.
It just sounds like someone's finally standing on business on this NIL deal. And
it probably needs to happen. I mean, and also for him, I mean, he went to high school at Pittsburgh, which isn't too far, like an hour.
Yeah, coming back
Yeah,
coming back,
hour away from Sac
semi-locally.
State, from Sacramento. So he's probably a little bit closer to home, maybe somewhere he's a little bit more
Yeah,
comfortable. And this is gonna be the first opportunity for him to just play ball, like in his college career,
yeah,
And there's probably more than, I mean, there's 40 transfers, like,
and a lot of them,
are from big time schools
yeah,
that,
and our athletes on offense. So
yeah.
he's gonna have the weapon.
Yeah, no. If you go down to that recruiting, it's receivers, running backs galore. They got
Yeah.
dudes out there that are running like 10-2 100-yard dashes
Now there,
sitting
most
on the bench.
most games there shouldn't be a reason why we don't have the best athletes on the
Yeah, no, I
on the
mean,
field.
we've been to some Sac State games before, even when they were good.
Yeah,
And you could kind of, there's a lot of talent at the FCS level, and there's no doubt about that. There is definitely, I think, at least, and maybe usually it's that physical jump between the FCS and FBS, where there's some freak athletes that populate that FBS, especially those big time schools, and we got a lot of players from those big time schools to come here.
and a lot of them freak athletes come out of California.
That's the other
So
part
I think
too.
we have that's another big advantage.
If you guys,
We have.
if you're tapped into any of the high school football, even basketball recruiting in just the Northern California area, I mean, there's a lot of talent. Like,
And
we played sports in high school, and we got to play with some people, and it's like,
crazy
it's
amount of talent.
there's a lot of talent out there that I think has
Yeah.
no choice but to go
Yeah.
outside. Because let's be honest
There's
here,
no schools to go to here.
not everybody wants to or even can go to a Cal or Stanford. Like, even a
Yeah.
San Jose State,
Yeah.
even a San Jose State can be a little bit,
Well, these also are top
Yeah.
athletes
Mhm.
that we're talking about. So they don't want to go to no San Jose State.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to play good, competitive. They want to win.
Yeah.
You know. So that's another if we can prove we can win.
Yeah. Nah. Also, just going forward too, I think part of it is sustained success. That is something that needs to happen. Look at the recruiting stats I have for 2026 and 2027 here.
Yeah.
33 commits in 2026. According to 247, that is the most in the top 100 for recruiting classes. 33 commits. That's the most. I think there's a few other schools out there with like 31, 32, but 33. And then in 2027, we also have the most recruits with 7. I think we already landed a 4-star in 2027 and in 2026.
It's supposed to be the highest recruit ever, I think, in
Sac State. And this is
State.
after they've probably already set that record 3 or 4 times
in
this year.
this transfer portal.
Literally. And you got, I mean, shoot, even looking at 29 recruits in this last year, he took over the job late December.
Yeah. It's not even a year yet.
It's not even a year yet, and you've already got a whole new roster for this year, and you are already like more than building for the future years beyond that. I do think one of my concerns is, okay, you have all these recruits, but I think a lot of them are bought into the idea that you are going to be FBS in a year or two. How much does that change? And even a dude like Marion, who's kind of brought in a lot of these recruits, if this team can't get to FBS soon, does any of that change?
I think that's part of the NCAA or the committee not letting us move up, but it's like, how committed are these people? How committed are they going to be here? How long are they going to be here? How, is what you have sustainable,
Yeah.
Because even if we do move up, Marion there are bigger schools than Sac State. There's a Big Ten coach getting fired probably next year.
Yeah.
Every 2 years.
We talked about this, like, okay, if we're there, and we're in the FBS, like, it might not be super hard to find ourselves another Marion, right? We just kind of need the opportunity because Sacramento, like, newsflash, is a growing and already pretty big market sneakily, and we could have it on
You
tap.
add a FBS team to that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You add a Pac-12 team to that. It's just going to grow the market.
No, look at the Super Bowl, like most viewership markets or whatever, bigger markets. For every time Super Bowl comes out, look at who's watching that, and somewhere in that top 10, you're gonna find Sacramento. There's absolutely a market here that loves football, that enjoys football, that will come out and watch these football games. Especially if you get, a new stadium, people are gonna want to come and see that.
And it's the type of fan Sacramento is.
Yeah, very passionate.
No, passionate fans.
Mhm.
They talk about the West Coast not having huge stadiums, but like you go to Utah,
Mm-hmm.
that fan base is just crazy. I forget how big the stadium is, but every single one is going crazy.
Yeah.
You come to Sacramento and we have a big game, I promise you, it don't matter how big that stadium is, it's gonna feel loud as hell in there.
I mean, let's talk about it. We went to the spring game a few months back.
Yes.
And we kind of showed up a little bit late. We were like, whatever, like we're gonna come in there. It's gonna be a bunch of old head alumni people in there, and we're just gonna be able to watch some ball. We missed the first quarter of the spring game. Pretty sure we missed the first quarter of the spring game because the line was so damn long. It led like outside the Sac State parking lot, and we got in barely. We were able to watch the rest of the game, and it wasn't some like nice 75 day. It's kind of a hot day, and a lot of the student body came out, and a lot of the alumni came out, and it looked like just the city came out to go support that, and that was really exciting to see. So like that already is proof in the pudding that like yo, there's a fan base here that's willing to show up for this team night in, night out. And I think that can be also something that kind of brings in a few different, like, a few other recruit stuff like that and just a few more eyeballs because, like you said, the West Coast isn't really known for having kind of that in football environment, at least for college. If you can bring that over on the West Coast, there's going to be a hell of a lot more athletes that are going to want to come here and play for that fan base.
And I think it's been done before on the West Coast. There's proven products. Oregon wasn't a football powerhouse at one point. Young school, they got the Nike money behind them, and they made this push. Boise State, small school, tiny school in Idaho, made a push, put money behind their program. Look at them now. It's been proven, so I don't think it's that hard. The sport is here, like you said. The spring game, I think the numbers were 7,000 people came out for a spring game after a 3-9 season. 3-9 season.
Yeah, no, that's crazy work, and like that 7,000 people, like. I'm not sure how tapped in all 7,000 people. Do you think those 7,000 people knew that there was a new coach that brought in a bunch of talent? I mean, I'm sure a portion of it definitely knew, and that's why they were there, like us.
Yeah.
But it looked a lot like people were there just to be there, just to support. Yeah.
An event,
And if a spring game's an event, I promise you Sac State, Montana, and ESPN is absolutely going to be bonkers in there.
Yes. A ranked matchup.
Yeah, no. I mean, we can even dial back the clock a little bit to when, obviously 3-9 last year, not super great, but when Scatterbo was here, 10+ win seasons, we had a pretty decent environment. I thought we had like those stadiums were packed out as much as they could be. Yeah.
The city got behind them, and those teams did not have the level of athletes we have.
No, not even close.
We've seen how Trey Taylor could compete. Yeah, I think we'll just see. What the new stadium is? What, 30?
I think it was announced 25,000, but I mean, like most stadiums, there's room for renovations, and I mean, adding on another 5,000. I work at the Golden One Center, like the 2023 season, Beam Team year. I think like it's at like 12,000 with some standing room and stuff like that, maybe 15,000, and then like that, like I think ahead of playoffs, but it might not have been happening, but at least ahead of the next season, they added like another 2,000, 2,500 seats.
Okay,
just finding new specialty ways to fit people in there. So, I mean, especially with maybe the growth of the program, they're going to be looking to, it should be able to fit, a couple more. Cause I mean, I think even the idea was to, potentially host, like more events than just collegiate.
Yeah. That'd be dope. Cause, a good stadium, it just brings so much for like a city. It's just more revenue for
more opportunity for like, cause you got to think, if you're a big time artist, for some artists, 10,000, 12,000 you're going to get out of the Golden One Center is different than the possible 25,000 you can get from the stadium. Even it's not some Georgia Dome or whatever we got over here, but it, I think our current one is like 21,000, a few more thousand, and tricking it out, making it look a little bit nicer is pretty good. But I think I also read that they're doing renovations on the current Hornet Stadium for this upcoming season. I think really just if you've gone to the Hornet Stadium, that you better hold onto your phone tight as hell when you sit in the bleachers, because there is holes underneath you that will absolutely like swallow a hole. I mean, I've been there a few times. So I think they're kind of covering up some of that and tricking some of that out. I think they're improving the bathrooms and the concessions. Again, if you've ever been there, you don't want to go to the bathroom, you might as well hold it or just go home.
Eat before you come.
Yeah, or get fleeced from a food truck after you wait in like an hour in line. So definitely some needed improvements that I think are, I mean, look, we probably should have happened a long time ago. I personally hope that they also improve some of the speaker systems.
Yeah, if you were at that spring game, wasn't the best halftime performance.
Yeah. Yeah, and to no fault of the artist or anything, or really anything other than
that sound system.
That sound system was delayed and horrible.
President Wood put out a note after or a statement after we got denied.
It's a little wordy. But we can break this down a little bit. This is bigger than football. Sacramento State's move to FBS would be transformative, not just for our university, but for our city and entire region. Major college football in Sacramento would drive economic growth, increase enrollment, attract investment, and elevate both school pride and national visibility. Our fans, alumni, and city are ready to represent the best of NCAA FBS football. That's just kind of like the first paragraph.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we talked about a little bit, just kind of like the advantages of what like an FBS move could mean. Because I mean, behind the curtain a little bit, like I'm pretty confident if you follow politics, the state school funding has been a little bit slashed, and I think there may be some criticisms a little bit from okay, is this the time to actually invest into the sports program? But like I think if done properly, right, it is the right time, because the type of visibility, recognition, and money it can bring into your school from just the actual sports or people wanting to support that sports, that's what's gonna bring in the real revenue and real money to hopefully boost just the day to day on Sac State's campus.
Like you say, it's not just football.
Yeah.
FBS program is going to bring more money into the school. That means like that's going to help the academics of the school.
Mm-hmm.
Buildings are going to be rebuilt.
Absolutely.
New halls are going to be put up,
and
it's going to help with other sports funding.
Absolutely. I don't want to quote it too much. I was going through a couple of interviews Luke Wood did, or Dr. Luke Wood did. I think one of them with Cap Radio it was, and he was talking about kind of like, all right, we have a plan in place that whatever revenue or money that the sports program brings in, a certain percentage is going to be allocated back into the school, back into the academics program, so that we are still doing this with the mentality that the school is still kind of coming first in this, is going to be a priority. Going further into his little note, this week, an NCAA committee recommended against granting Sacramento State a waiver to join the FBS as an independent. We remain hopeful as the D1 Council has the ultimate decision. This is, I guess, after the committee, before the D1 Council. And this is kind of, I guess, this was a pitch that was going to happen in between. So my bad. Has the decision and the authority. The rationale that a lack of conference invite signals readiness is flawed. So we can talk about that, because that's essentially what we were talking about earlier. Like, the lack of a conference invite is flawed, specifically for a West Coast team where there's only a couple of conferences. And
because the two teams that joined FBS this year are Delaware and Missouri State. I promise you, Sacramento is a better city than either of those schools.
At least yeah.
So it's not our fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's not our fault. We don't have whatever conference they joined.
And like, yeah, like what?
Sorry, we don't have it.
Sorry, my bad.
It's not. You can't blame us for that.
Yeah, no. I would personally love to see the Sac State in the Pac-12, even though this isn't the same Pac-12 that we grew up on. But there's something a little bit nostalgic about that conference, especially if you're a West Coast kid. Yeah, Pac-12, like there's always some iconic battles that you can remember. Some USC, UCLA going at it, Stanford, Cal, like, so definitely getting back into that getting into that conference, I think, would be a huge milestone, and would definitely, I think, boost the, I guess, image or the visual of Sac State.
As an independent, I don't think it would be hard either. There's been smaller schools be independent. I think UConn was independent. They still might be. Yeah. Independent in football. I'm pretty sure they are fine. It's not that hard.
They're okay. I mean, independent, would be very interesting to see how they would go about their scheduling. I mean, you think they would just like write up a gauntlet, or would it primarily be Pac-12 schools?
I think it wouldn't be. It's not going to be like a long-term plan. So I think it probably would be a gauntlet, because when you're a smaller school, you do get paid to play bigger schools.
Yeah.
So you might go play that non-conference game the SEC plays late in the season. You might have to go to Alabama.
Might have to
go to Georgia. Get that couple mil. Take that beat, But you know that. So I don't think independent would be the long-term plan. But it would just get our foot in the door, Yeah. We're still gonna play. There's probably be mainly Mountain West schools. I'd probably think Mountain West, and probably a couple Pac-12. There's not a lot of schools on the West Coast, so they got to play someone in the off season or the non-conference season.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see how they navigate. I mean, I think Dr. Luke Wood has definitely been like the driving force in this sports program as a whole, trying to move forward. Because even the basketball program, I mean, they left the big sky, and they're now rocking out with the Big West.
Yeah.
which is a little bit more of a competitive Division One conference
Their conference conference champion this year was they gave a little scare in the tournament.
in the
So,
tournament. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So they
Is that UC San Diego? Yeah.
it's more competitively. The Big Sky isn't known for basketball, so it's a good step for it. 'Cause, it's not like the Mountain West or Pac-12 are going to be huge powerhouses in basketball.
No, probably not.
So yeah, a small school you can.
Yeah.
Gonzaga was still in the West Coast Conference till they joined the Pac-12. So basketball you don't need a huge conference.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And shoot, because of this is also kind of going back to the FBS FCS thing. Basketball, baseball, they don't have that.
No.
It's just Division One and whatever your conference is, and then you win your conference or you have a good enough record, you can make the March Madness or the World Series, College World Series. So football is really the only sport that really divides that Division One conference up. That's what's making it a little bit more complicated, I guess.
Yeah, which I think gives a little bit more excitement into the basketball program because we're already there.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's just time to win.
Yeah,
now
it's
for
just
basketball.
we won't have
Like,
to
go ahead.
We won't have to wait for no one to accept us. Bibby, get to work.
Maybe get to work for sure. I think I did see. I gotta start following the basketball recruiting a little bit more closely, like I do the football program, because I thought I saw a couple of 4-star player had Sac State's basketball program in their top 4.
We all know who's here already.
Let's talk about
that boy,
Mikey
Williams.
Mikey Williams. I mean, there's maybe not another polarizing high school to college athlete.
Yeah, there's probably not a bigger name in college basketball this next season.
That's a take. I mean, in terms of
just name.
Just name.
Mikey Williams.
Everything that includes
Mikey Williams.
No, I mean, I'm excited for Mikey Williams, though, to have an opportunity to, again, very similar to Rashada in a way. A little bit different, but just ball.
A little more self-imposed.
Just ball, bro. Just ball.
Like Rashada, there's never been a problem with him on the court.
No.
Mikey who?
Mikey that's never been the question. That's why he's had the opportunities that he's had.
I think he's back in California. Wait from home a little bit. So, but a more familiar setting. Just focus on the hoop.
And I think what's most important for players like Mikey entering this basketball program is that you got a Mikey, baby.
Yeah.
You have a Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq.
Yeah, you have a Shaquille O'Neal, a Shaq. Those are veterans. Those are pros. Those are not just like run of the mill pros either. Yeah. Those are dudes that have had long careers that are recognized to this day, and those are dudes that you can lean on that can really kind of be that guiding wisdom for a lot of these young men as they try to make a name for themselves in basketball.
They've made mistakes. They've seen people make mistakes. They really like take these young men under their wing. So really help them. Yeah, that's why Bibby he seems like he loves coaching. He seems like he loves coaching.
That's what he is. I think.
And you've never heard like a bad thing about him being like a vet in the NBA either. I think he's a good mentor. So I've heard only
great stories about Baby. No, that's coming from somebody who lives in Sacramento. So maybe some of those stories are maybe a little, but I've only heard great things about Baby. I know he's a successful coach down at the high school program. Yeah, when he was working, was it Arizona?
It was in Arizona.
I forget what the school was.
5 state champions. 4 straight.
Crazy. And getting an opportunity to come back to where he played kind of some of his meaningful basketball career in Sacramento.
His most meaningful.
Yeah, a city that loves him. Yeah. A city that will always have his back. You got a lot of support coming from the community to make sure he's doing good.
City loves Baby. Yeah. They're gonna support.
Yeah, I think opening it up with a Mikey Williams that's gonna be so. I'm very excited to watch football this year. I think there's a lot of talent here. But I might be a little bit more excited to see what that basketball program looks like.
And we do have an NBA team. We are a basketball city.
I think
Sacramento we play good football. If you follow high school football, Sacramento plays pretty good competitive football.
Shout out Folsom.
What's his name? Ryder
Lions.
Yeah, Ryder Lion.
Hey, Ryder, when you get back from that mission, hop in that portal and come back home. I don't know what you were thinking.
Come home.
Hit that lick off BYU. Let them pay you while you praising the Lord. But when you come back home, when you come back home.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be easier for the fan base just to travel over with basketball, with the new stadium being built for them too.
I mean, they're gonna have access to the Golden One Center as well. I think the initial plan was if they were able to make that jump into the Pac-12. That Vivek, the owner or chairman or whatever of the Sacramento Kings, he would open up the doors for the G1C. I'm not sure how fluid that is now that they're in the Big West. I would hope that it's still something that, they would allow for at least some of the bigger games to be played at the G1C if there's, or Golden One Center if it is open. But like, I know they just did a bunch of facility upgrades to the well. I think that is supposed to be used for some of the basketball.
Like a temporary
temporary option.
I think it's a good start. It's a good start.
Yeah.
You know?
You should be, it's better than what they've had.
Yeah.
It's 1,000% better than what they've had.
Like how a lot of is riding on the football program. If we don't get moved up, it's a stall. It hurts. You still gotta, and we gotta keep going. Try again.
Yeah.
Basketball, you're just rolling.
It's go time.
Get this temporary stadium at the well. Get it rolling. By the time we have that stadium, there's nothing holding us back.
Yeah, it's
very. Hopefully, Bibby can get to recruiting.
And I personally, I'd be shocked if Bibby, and I don't know how long Shaq's going to be here because I know a part of that's probably because his son is also here. Yeah. So when his son moves on, I'm not sure how involved Shaq is going to be anymore. But even just taking advantage of what that opportunity you have now is,
he's always involved in something. I mean, he always involved in basketball.
He was like a partial owner of the Kings for a minute. Yeah. Just coming back to torment.
Yeah, it's a little, he got some, sadly, it's not a good connection, but he has a connection in Sacramento.
He done, look, he has no problem exploring it, so.
He does. That is something, so it probably is the factor is his son being here, why he's here. Who knows how long he'll stay.
Yeah, if it works out. Hopefully it works out. If it works out, that would be awesome. Because what Shaq could, love Bibby. Bibby, I think, should have no problem recruiting and coaching a lot of these young men. But Shaq, just in terms of how many times you turn on ESPN or any sports channel, how many commercials is Shaq in?
Oh, it's a lot.
It's a lot. You might not even have to go to sports channel. It might just be you might be watching. Yeah, you might be watching Cartoon Network, and all of a sudden you got the General with Shaq commercial popping up.
Come to Sac State. We got you Gold Bond sponsor.
Gold Bond sponsor, 1,000%. We gonna see Mikey Williams in a Papa Murphy's shirt for sure.
Yeah, pizza
Papa
guys
John's.
Pizza guys are big.
Yeah, and I'm sorry Malik. The Papa John's guy is gonna be maybe bigger than the pizza guy.
The general guy.
1,000%. So it'll be interesting to see kind of that evolvement of that program over time because they're kind of going from the ground up a little bit more than I think the football program is in a weird way, because I think the football program has had some success recently, and they have been kind of at least on the radar of some of the top FCS schools. They had a little bit of a down year last year, but they were able to get a top coach to come over here, or top available coach to come over here, and recruiting right away. Yeah. I don't know how many times I got to read haters about Sacramento State, and then literally 24 hours later, they land the recruit that they wish their team could get. So I think it's obviously there's a jump they have to take to the FBS, and there's still a lot of work that has to be done on that program. But if you follow the basketball program, specifically the men's basketball program, not talking about you ladies, but the men's basketball program, yikes.
It's not the greatest history.
Yeah, not the greatest history at all. And also the facilities, or at least where they play, can be greatly improved. So there's a little bit more groundwork that actually physical work that needs to be done for that program. But I think they've got a lot of the right leaders, brain trust involved to hopefully turn some things around over there quickly. Because all you gotta do is win games from
all you gotta do. And I think it's an easier jump. It's not, you don't have to have, for a good football team, you gotta have for 40-some players. You gotta have really seven dudes who can go out there.
7 dudes that are gonna hustle, honestly.
Play hard.
If you watch that what was it, Houston this year? Just dogs.
Just dogs.
Just dogs. I don't know how many of those guys are really gonna be able to be stars in the NBA.
Stars. Probably none of them.
Yeah. I was trying to be nice. But
they can go be some role players.
But you can find a lot of dogs, right? And if you're Sac State and you can get those dogs, get athletes into that program, and then work your magic and find one or two guys that can come in here for a year or 2 or 3 and kill.
If you can, I feel like it's going to be a easy pipeline for the NBA. You got an NBA coach.
100%. I like that.
So I think that's also going to help with the recruiting. So I think the basketball program might have a dark past, but really bright future.
Because similarly with the football program and how regionally we feel I just feel like Sacramento is in a really great spot regionally and just in the area to bring in the talent level that there's not a lot of spots I think that can do that. The West Coast is full of talent that I think a lot of players would be willing to stay at least near home, and there's just very limited options in pursuing that. So I think if you are able to like you said, you got a coach with NBA experience, a general manager right now with NBA experience. I mean, and not just I was in the league, NBA experience for real. And dudes that, like you said, potentially could be a real pipeline to get to the pros. These are guys that know what it takes to get there. You know, I'd be interested. I mean,
two long careers,
successful careers. One of them Hall of Famer, the other one,
both of them Hall of Famer probably.
I don't know. Baby's my guy. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah, Hall of Famer in Sacramento. That's all that matters.
Yeah, man, we can put that 10 up there for sure. But yeah, no, I think that pipeline. I'd be interested to see like how many players Baby coached out of high school that were able to go on and have successful Division I and maybe pro careers. I mean, maybe he is that kind of guard. At least when he played, that I felt like maybe almost a little bit out of his time. Like I think what he did a lot well back then is what a lot of the guards are looking to do well today, now. Yeah. So
probably what a lot of guards need to be doing today.
Mm-hmm. And you can just look at how his post career, how much he's focused on his body and stuff like that. That's a lot of what that Houston team is known for, is getting in that weight room and getting on that track.
Dog, physical you, muscle you.
So I think just the combination of his mind for basketball, and then I think the importance of being physically strong enough and equipped enough to compete on a night-to-night basis.
NBA ready bodies.
That's what it is for real. Like a lot of kids, they get drafted and they can't take more than 20 games in the season because they done just got bullied 20 straight times. If you do have to put on weight. You do have to be in shape. Crazy. It's not easy to chase Steph Curry around for 48 minutes.
You'll see the difference between someone's rookie year, their sophomore year. You'll see it. So having if you can, an extra advantage, coming into the league, I think that a lot of top prospects would like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate you guys. If you guys have stayed to the very end, please subscribe, follow, whatever, on any podcast platforms. Hoping to get this YouTube set up, share, whatever it is. We're hoping to get this out a little bit more regularly and have some interesting topics we're excited to talk about, both in the basketball and football arena. Yeah.
It's going to be it. Appreciate you guys.
All right.